former IPS officer into this conversation. Ma'am, appreciate you joining us. Isn't it worrying and suspicious to see that a number of these activities post this murder should raise alarm bells with the police as well, who were very swift to determine that this was a suicide and not a murder?
Definitely, it raises a number of questions, and the whole thing is so, it's all about just building the story to defend them. So, what is the point? I mean, why is she calling the beauty parlor lady, getting the footage, giving it to her advocates to build a story around it to find out something which could save them? And even in I think did not report the case. She's been making calls to everyone except Trisha's parents when the girl died. Nothing, none of this adds up. None of this is normal human behavior. That means she's really concerned about saving her own skin and saving her own family rather than, as an officer of the law, she's been a very, very senior official doling out law and justice to everyone. But in her own case, she has totally failed to think of law or justice. She's totally very selfishly concerned. She's washed up the evidence, which is so kind of unlikely, not appropriate for her. Washed up the evidence, erased all the evidence, is giving all the footage from here and there to her advocates so that they can build up a story around it. And today also when he surrenders, I'm sure they have their story ready. So he's there for surrender and there's a warrant against it and there's police all over. Why is he not being picked up by the police if he has not surrendered? Anytime they see him, they can pick him up, whether it's in the premises of the court. As of now, there is no stay on his arrest. If the magistrate has not picked it up or if he has not been produced before the magistrate, the police can pick him up because there is a warrant and claim that 30,000 rupees, whoever has it, there's a warrant out on him. So he could have been picked up all this while for hours, I think. For quite some time he's been in the court but not been picked up by the police. That itself, there are people of considerable social capital. Giribala Singh and family, she's been a district judge there. She must have, the whole criminal system is in her own hands. She liked the process and procedure and the people, which is most important, like the back of her own hand. She makes these 43 calls after the poor girl is dead, and she's not worried about getting her, giving her some dignity to the dead body, nothing. And I find personally that their conduct is highly suspicious, and I think the whole nation that is what they are thinking. Media channels have also very, very actively supported and presented their case. And now he's surrendering, but what use? Let's see. Because initially, the initial evidence has been washed up. Where she was for 3 days, over 72 hours, you don't hand up the garret, the belt with which she's
And ma'am, what is also worrying here is that, why would a girl who is depressed and contemplating suicide, indulge in the vanities of a beauty parlor?
Definitely, it doesn't add up at all. And not only that, even the mother-in-law then chasing her, chasing the beauty parlor, getting the footage, giving it to advocates. She must have been full of good spirits to have gone to the beauty parlor to clean herself, to make herself presentable. Those are not the signs of a depressed person at all. She was full of hope and looking ahead to life. That is what this indicates. And suddenly they say that she has committed suicide. A very funny suicide where the marks, the hematoma, the marks on the wrist, even the garret mark on the neck.
Ma'am, just stay on with us. We have some breaking news coming in. The Bhopal Commissioner Sanjay Kumar has also stated that the FIR was filed within 2 days and that they will continue to take action till the case is transferred. He went on to talk about the CCTV footage that had surfaced in the probe and stated that statements of the people who were visible in the CCTV footage have been taken. Let me also bring in Shams Shavish into this conversation. Shams Shavish, I hope you can hear me. Shams Shavish?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what do you make of this effort to grab onto CCTV footage from the parlor, these 40 odd calls which were made to everyone except the authorities? What does that tell you? Is there a hint of a cover up there?
No, since she was a district judge, so she knows all the loopholes that are there in the law, and she might be trying to build a case wherein it does not fall, the burden does not fall on her and her family, but on the other party to prove that they are the ones who are wrong and not the ones who are being accused right now. So there are different ways to build a story. So that is how she is trying to make the base. Could be one of the way. But looking into the depth of the case, problem is that people don't understand that harassment is never on a very major scale where they are being hit and all. All of that not much happened. But small petty things create a big impact on a girl's mind who has left her family for someone else and then staying into a completely different city, different place, different house. So the harassment came, but then if you come back to this story that whether she was mentally, I mean she was in depression, and also if you say on that part, so we have seen cases where someone has gone for a completely night out dance and all, and very next day she has committed suicide. So depression is a very different.
You're quite right about that, Ravish. So we're going to continue to follow this story. There are developments coming in by the minute. Would like to thank our guests for joining us on this program. We're going to dip into a very short break. We'll be back.